Hey everybody, Joe here from Dark Animals, and today I'm reviewing LEGO set 75364, New Republic E-Wing vs Shin Hati's Starfighter. This is another ship-focused set from the wave of Ashoka sets, and it's interesting that they've made this a versus set, as I don't think these ships actually went toe-to-toe in the series, but it's still cool to get these two ships nonetheless. First off, this set consists of 2 colorful ships, 4 minifigures, and an astromech droid. So let's take a look at the E-Wing first. At first glance, what stands out to me is this fresh blue and white coloring that reminds me of the Millennium Falcon from the Solo movie. I've gotten so used to grey Star Wars ships, so it's always a treat to see these. The detailing around the ship is fine, with this continuous blue line breaking up the flat sides of the ship, and I particularly like how the wings were designed at this really cool and appropriate angle. It was actually a very fun part of the build, especially the way it's slotted into the ship's body. The wings are finished off with these simple but effective engine and turret builds, and we also get the mandatory inclusion of stud shooters for playability. The back of the ship feels a bit flat to me, but looking at the source material, I'd say it's pretty accurate, and I do like the addition of these grey pieces to add some needed detail to the back end. At the front, we get the subtle inward slope towards the nose that makes it look very sleek, like something that would hold its own in a space dogfight. For the cockpit, we get a printed transparent piece that I believe is also used for the X-Wing, but it works, and I'm always happy to not get stickers on windows. Inside, there's space for one minifigure that has to lean back slightly to fit correctly. And we also get this printed heads-up display that has been used in many sets. What's really cool though is what we get underneath the cockpit. You can actually get access to this cool hidden compartment, and this won't be the last one we see in the set. Behind the cockpit, we get a dedicated spot for the hard-working astromech droid, and the little splash of yellow complements the set so well. The ship also features retractable landing gear, which I think is a welcome addition to any model ship. To round off the build, there are also 5 stickers to add some of that finer detail. Next up, we have Shin Hati's Starfighter. Again, I love the colors used for the ship, but what's more striking to me than the color is the size of the ship. It's massive. Bear in mind, it's a one-person Starfighter. It's not really an issue for me, but the thought did cross my mind a few times while building it. I really like this build though. I like the overall shape so much, as its sleek round shape contrasts so well with the sharper E-Wing design. The wings have a nice balance of exposed studs and smooth tiles, and the asymmetric positioning of some of the pieces works well to give it a worn-out look. Again, stickers are used minimally to add to the overall wear and tear. My favorite part of the build though is this inlet at the front, which really adds to that classic fighter plane look. The back can also be opened up, and that allows you to store a lightsaber. And another nicely printed cockpit windshield opens up so we can take a look at the console, which is a sticker. What's strange though for such a big build is the fact that the cockpit has so little space for the minifigure. You need to have the figure almost completely lying down to properly get them in there with a closed windshield. In front of the cockpit, we get some weapons that's just for show, but to the sides we do get those stud shooters. But what's very cool is this large storage compartment that can be found by easily removing the weapons. But that's not all. You can lift up this false bottom to find yet another storage compartment. This is so good. I love that we can store all the extra bits and weapons included in the set. Some might say it's overkill, but I love it. The set has no landing gear, but we do get these transparent pieces to better balance the set when placed on a surface. Now, moving on to the figures, starting with Captain Porter. I love getting these pilot figures because these flight suits look so good. I like how the colors match his ship, and the continuation of the print from his torso to his legs is so good. The white is even nicely printed on his blue legs, and there's some basic printing on his back to finish off the suit. By far my favorite part though is this helmet. It is a great mold, and it is so detailed and well printed. The helmet look is completed by his face print that has the chin strap and visor printed directly onto the face. But we also get an alternative face without the visor, and LEGO went the extra mile by also giving us a hairpiece. They have been doing this more and more, and I think it is great. Next up, we have the New Republic astromech droid in this very bright blue and yellow color. We have seen a lot of these, but it's always nice to get a new color variant. The printing for the head wraps all around the dome, but we only get one-sided printing for his body. Next up, we have our first villain, Shin Hati, the apprentice of Balin's Skull. Again, we get some nice printing on her torso, hip, and legs. I especially like the little Padawan ponytail they've added to her torso, and the back printing is also well designed. She doesn't have any arm printing, but I do like the addition of these gunmetal arms. I think her hairpiece works well, but looking at the face print, the eyes feel a little bit big to me, but that might just be because they wanted to bring in some of that smoky eyeshadow look she has. She also has this alternative face print that works well in the context of her being caught in a dogfight. The second villain we get is the great broody Balin Skull. His outfit looks a lot like the one Shin is wearing, but in all black, and with this great green belt buckle on the hips. He also has the gunmetal arms and the same detailing on the back. His hairpiece is fine, but it looks a little bit dated. I actually wish they gave him a black hood piece so we could display him as seen in his first appearance in the show. His face print is good, but while I like his beard, I wish the printing was a bit less transparent. His alternative face print is also well done, and I think it works better for the character actually. Both of these figures also come with red lightsabers, which bum me out a little bit because in the show it kind of looks like it has more of an orange glow to them. Finally, we have Morgan Elsbeth, and when compared to the source material, I think the designer has totally nailed her look. The torso printing is beautiful on the red, and I like how they have a lighter red printed onto the torso to make this material stand out a bit more. Her hairpiece is beautiful and so detailed at the back, and her face print is very basic, but I think that's all you really need as it clearly works to capture the actor's face this is based on. Her alternative face is also good if you wanted her to show a little bit more emotion as seen closer to the end of the series. So I really like these versus sets where LEGO has two ships from opposite sides going at each other, and it's a nice way to get unique and sometimes less popular ships without all the unnecessary sideboards. I like the contrast between the Starfighters, where the E-Wing reminds me more of designs from the original Star Wars movies, and Shin Hati's ship reminds me more of the prequel movie designs. I love how colorful these ships are, and I think they will display quite nicely. It's also great that we got 5 minifigures in this set, and on top of that, we got 3 of the villains in one set. Overall, I think it is a great set to pick up for both the ships and the figures. Anyways, let me know what you think about this set in the comments, and please consider liking or subscribing to the channel if you like this review and what we do. And as always, thanks for watching.